The lost generation was the generation that came of age during World War I. The term was popularized by Ernest Hemingway, who used it as one of two contrasting epigraphs for his novel *The Sun Also Rises*. In that volume, Hemingway credits the phrase to Gertrude Stein, who was then his mentor and patron. This generation included artists and writers who came of age during the war, such as F. Scott Fitzgerald, T.S. Eliot, James Joyce, Sherwood Anderson, John Dos Passos, John Steinbeck, William Faulkner, Waldo Pierce, Isadora Duncan, Abraham Wolkowitz, Ezra Pound, Alan Seeger, Franz Kafka, Henry Miller, Aldous Huxley, Malcolm Cowley, Louis Ferdinand Celine, Eric Maria Remarque, and the composers Sergei Prokofiev, Paul Hindemith, George Gershwin, and Aaron Copland. Literary themes. The literature figures of the lost generation tended to use common themes in the writing. These themes mostly pertained to the writer's experiences in World War I and the years following it. It is said that the work of these writers was autobiographical, based on the use of mythologized versions of the lives. One of the themes that commonly appears in the author's works is decadence and the frivolous lifestyle of the wealthy. Both Hemingway and Fitzgerald touch on this theme throughout the novels *The Sun Also Rises* and *The Great Gatsby*. Another theme that is common for these authors was the death of the American dream, which is exhibited throughout many of the novels. It is most prominent in *The Great Gatsby*, in which the character Nick Carraway comes to realize the corruption he was surrounded by. Other uses. The term is used for the period from the end of World War I to the beginning of the Great Depression, though in the United States it is used for the generation of young people who came of age during and shortly after World War I, alternatively known as the World War I generation. Authors William Strauss and Neil Howe, well known for their generational theory, define the lost generation as the cohorts born from 1883 to 1900, who came of age during World War I and the Roaring Twenties. In Europe, they are mostly known as the generation of 1914, for the year World War I began. In France, the country in which many expatriates settled, they were sometimes called the Génération au Feu, the generation in flames. If one goes by Strauss and Howe's birth years, the last U.S. member of the lost generation to live was Susanna Mushat Jones, who was born July 6, 1899 and died on May 12, 2016. This makes the generation fully ancestral in the United States. An Italian woman, Emma Mirano, born on November 29, 1899, is currently believed to be the last living member of this generation. In Britain, the term was originally used for those who died in the war, and often implicitly referred to upper-class casualties who were perceived to have died disproportionately, robbing the country of a future elite. Many felt that the flower of youth and the best of the nation had been destroyed. For example, such notable casualties as the poets Isaac Rosenberg, Rupert Brooke, Edward Thomas and Wilfred Owen, composer George Butterworth and physicist Henry Moseley.